Have you ever promised yourself that tomorrow would be different? Tomorrow, you'll wake up early. Tomorrow, you'll finally start exercising. Tomorrow, you'll stop wasting hours on your phone. Tomorrow, you'll finish that project you've been putting off for months. And then, tomorrow comes. You wake up motivated. You make coffee. You sit down to work. Your phone lights up for just a second. One notification, one message, one quick video. 40 minutes disappear, then an hour. By the end of the day, you're wondering the same thing millions of people ask themselves every night. What's wrong with me? Maybe you've called yourself lazy, undisciplined, weak. Maybe you've even believed you simply don't have enough willpower. But what if that's not true at all? What if the biggest obstacle in your life isn't your personality, but your biology? Because here's something most people never realize. The human brain sitting inside your skull was never designed for the world you're living in. In fact, most of its operating system was built long before cities, long before books, long before governments, long before money, long before smartphones, and even long before civilization itself. In many ways, your brain still behaves like it belongs to a hunter who lived almost 2 million years ago. And once you understand why, many of your daily struggles suddenly begin to make sense. Imagine waking up somewhere in East Africa, nearly 2 million years ago. There are no houses, no roads, no grocery stores, no hospitals. Finding food isn't a convenience. It's the difference between life and death. Drinking clean water isn't automatic. It's survival. Hearing a strange sound behind you could mean absolutely nothing, or it could be the last sound you ever hear. Your ancestors lived in a world where every decision carried enormous consequences. The human brain evolved to solve one problem above everything else. Stay alive, not be happy, not become successful, not become productive. Simply survive. That single priority shaped nearly everything about the mind we inherited. Think about what survival required. You needed to notice movement instantly. You needed to react to danger before thinking about it. You needed to remember where food could be found. You needed to pay attention to anything new. Curiosity wasn't entertainment. Curiosity kept. If you ignored something unusual, you might miss food or miss a predator. Either mistake could be fatal. That's why your brain still pays extraordinary attention to novelty. Every notification, every breaking headline, every short video, every flashing icon, every unexpected sound. Your brain treats each one as if it might matter. Not because social media is magical, but because your nervous system was designed for a completely different world. Modern neuroscience gives this system a name: the reward system. One of its most well-known chemical messengers is dopamine. Many people think dopamine is the chemical of pleasure, but researchers increasingly describe it as something even more interesting. It's deeply involved in motivation. Imagine finding a tree full of ripe fruit thousands of years ago. Your brain rewarded that discovery. It encouraged you to remember it, to search again, to survive another day. Now replace the fruit tree with your smartphone. The same ancient circuitry doesn't fully understand the difference. Instead of berries, there are notifications. Instead of discovering a new water source, there's a new post. Instead of spotting animal tracks, there's another video waiting to auto. Today, boredom often lasts only a few seconds before being interrupted by another screen. What if we've become so uncomfortable with silence that we've forgotten what it was for? Ancient wisdom consistently pointed people toward practices that slowed the mind: reflection, prayer, meditation on scripture, gratitude, silence, rest. Not because ancient people understood neuroscience, but because they understood people. They observed that constant practice gratitude, and gratitude becomes more natural. Your brain is always adapting. The only question is, adapting to what? So what do you actually do with all of this? The answer probably isn't trying harder. It begins by noticing. Notice what captures your attention. Notice when you instinctively reach for your phone. Notice the moments when discomfort immediately sends you searching for distraction. Awareness comes before change. Then begin shaping your environment. Place your phone farther away while working. Create moments without notifications. Read before scrolling. Walk before checking messages. Give your ancient brain opportunities to practice something different. Small decisions repeated consistently become new habits, not overnight. Perhaps the most surprising lesson isn't that science disproved ancient wisdom, or that ancient wisdom replaced science. It's that both, in very different ways, have been asking the same question. Why do human beings struggle against themselves? Modern neuroscience explores the mechanisms. Ancient texts explored the meaning. Together, they paint a remarkably complete picture. Maybe your greatest battle isn't against technology. Maybe it isn't against motivation. Maybe it isn't even against procrastination. Maybe it's learning how to guide an ancient brain through a modern world, because your mind wasn't designed for endless notifications. It wasn't designed for infinite entertainment. It wasn't designed for a world that never stops demanding your attention. Yet you still have something your ancestors also possessed. The ability to choose your direction, one decision, one habit, one day at a time. Maybe that's why wisdom has survived for thousands of years. Human civilization has changed beyond recognition. Our cities are different. Our tools are different. Our technology is different. But the human heart, and the questions it wrestles with, remain surprisingly familiar. And perhaps that's why ancient wisdom still feels so relevant today. Not because it answers every scientific question, but because it continues to ask the questions that matter most. If you're fascinated by how ancient wisdom, archaeology, history, and scripture still speak to the modern world, subscribe to Scroll and Stone. Every week, we uncover forgotten discoveries, timeless wisdom, and fascinating evidence that reveal the Bible in a whole new way. This is only the beginning of the journey.